I am Jacqueline Housel, a member of the League of Women Voters of the Greater Dayton area. I am here today with candidates running for the Yellow Springs Village Council. The candidates are Dino Pallotta, Scott Alsterholm, Brian Housh, Stephanie Pearce, Angie Shu, Shania Samira. Scott Alsterholm, Angie Shu, and Shania Samira were not able to join us due to prior commitments. We'll start our interviews by giving the candidates 1 minute to tell us about themselves and why they want to serve on the Yellow Springs Village Council. We're going to start with Dino Pallotta. Could you provide 1 minute introduction?
Sure. My name is Dino Pallotta. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm running for Village Council. I've been in Yellow Springs for 13 years now. I've owned and operated a business here, Dino's Cappuccinos, for 27 years. I've been a member of many of the committees here in Yellow Springs, the Economic Sustainability Commission, the Planning Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, Yellow Springs Development Corporation, Comprehensive Land Use Plan, and a host of others. The reason that I want to become part of a member of the Village Council is that I'm going to bring a different forefront of being a business person to the council, which gives them gives us a different flavor, a different direction, understanding the business climates of what we bring to the table, as opposed to not being a part of the business community. So it's just a different onsite that I can bring to the table and bring some good leadership and qualities to the table. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next we're going to go to Brian Housh. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to serve on the Yellow Springs Village Council?
Thank you. So I've been a member of the Village Council for almost 12 years and love to serve our community. I add a lot of value with my law and business degrees, and I have a lot of economic development and regional experience that I think also adds a lot to our village culture. I'm primarily running this time because I think it's important to continue to have a strong voice to move our village values forward. Affordability continues to be an issue for our community as well as every community. We continue to make progress on our infrastructure, and we've made some real progress in that regard. And then I think it's also important that we continue those economic development initiatives, because we do have a thriving local business community, and we want to make sure to have good jobs as well as have housing for all the people that want to live in Yellow Springs.
Thank you. And now we're going to move to Stephanie Pearce. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to serve on the Yellow Springs Village Council?
Well, I am a very active citizen here in Yellow Springs. I have been a part of the community since 2006, living here full time, back in the village again for the last 4 years. I live here, I work here, I play here, I volunteer here. I'm very rooted in this community. I pay very close attention to what's going on with the council, with the planning commission and things like that. And I feel like there needs to be a reasonable voice, a lot more transparency, and a lot more resident citizen input into the decisions that the council is making.
Thank you. Now I'm going to ask each candidate the same questions, and you will have 2 minutes to speak to each question, and then I will move on to the next candidate and give them 2 minutes to respond. We're going to go to Brian Housh first. What do you see as the biggest challenges facing the village?
Yeah, so I kind of highlighted that in my introduction. I think that infrastructure, affordability, and economic development are hugely important and very complicated right now. In terms of infrastructure, one of the things that I've seen over the past almost 12 years is rather than kicking the can down the road on addressing our various water, sewer, electric utilities, we're now addressing that head on. Establishing capital budgets was a big part of that. And we're actually right now in our budgeting stages. So that's really important. Affordability. One of the things that we continue to work on is expanding our housing stock, and that includes both affordable and market rate housing and rentals. And this is a way that we can make sure that our folks that live and, well, that work in town can also live in town. And I think there are other things that we can do with expanding our population a bit to make sure that we share the costs for utilities and also generate more revenues to deliver a high quality service and ultimately sustain and improve quality of life. In terms of economic development, one of the boards that I serve on is our development corporation. And we are looking at some initiatives to both preserve our downtown, but also to support our local businesses as well as attract new businesses. And, it's important to us to remain diverse as a village and also to remain vibrant and thriving. And we have a lot of initiatives in the pipeline that I hope to continue to make sure we deliver on for our villagers.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to move to Stephanie Pearce. What do you see as the biggest challenges facing the village?
Well, the affordable housing situation is no secret to anyone that knows anything about Yellow Springs. And there has been some progress made towards that, but I think that there's often a misunderstanding about what affordability is for the average person. And the low wage jobs that are here in town. And so that's another issue that needs to be addressed. The job development is pretty stagnant here. And getting a job with a living wage is kind of like winning the lottery in this town for the average citizen. And so I think some concentration needs to be put on that as well. Because the housing that's coming is not really affordable for those type of wage earners. And so we need to improve the job market here alongside all of those things. And the business development's gotten a little stagnant. And it just seems to be low wage, jobs that are being introduced here. And the housing is just going up, and it's allowing the market to be taken advantage of by people from outside of the town with better incomes, because that opportunity is just not here for the people that are here, and they're being pushed out.
Thank
So I
you.
think that the housing, yeah, okay.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just watching my time. But the housing and the jobs need to be addressed simultaneously. They kind of go hand in hand together.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we're going to go to our third candidate, Dino Pallotta. Could you answer the question, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing the village?
Sure. I think we've all touched base on it. Increasing the tax base is going to be really a big function that we have to look forward to, that we have to push forward to. You've got workforce housing that we have to look forward to. We have to push for workforce housing, affordable housing. Obviously, we have single family homes and rentals are coming, but that's the growth that we're looking for, that we have to keep on getting to grow our tax base. Work here, live here is the buzz phrase that we all use. You want people to stay here. We want them to work here. We want them to live here, spend here. That's going to be our success that will increase that tax base. But as was mentioned, with the growth, we have to watch our infrastructure, our roads, our sewer, water, electric, all those upgrades. We have to make sure, that's always the issue, is that if this growth is coming, do you have the infrastructure to support it? And as was mentioned, we are pushing forward with that. We have been aggressive in that, and that these are good things that are happening. It just is something that's going to have to continue as this moderate growth continues on. Thirdly, the growth of our business district, of our downtown business district, and the development of the CBE. Growing business is the bottom line key to the success of the village. It's going to drive our tax rates. It gives us a tax base that gives us the ability to take care of these future upgrades. Lastly, that's not been addressed. And I've been part of council or go to a lot of the meetings, not been part of it, just go to a lot of meetings, but we have a senior issue here. We need to start addressing our seniors. 59% of our seniors are 50 years and over, and 40% of that are 60 years and over. We need to start addressing their needs, looking to be bringing them to the table for budgetary process, because they have needs, and we need to start pushing towards that and bringing them to the table. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to a second question, and Stephanie Pearce will go first. Stephanie, could you describe what should the village council do to address housing needs in the village?
Well, most recently, what would be pop into my mind are the ordinance around the transient lodging, better known as Airbnbs. I think that needs to have the brakes put on that. And it's because it's, invading neighborhoods and taking a lot of homes away. I personally know at least 2 people who have had their rentals purchased, and they were put out of those homes so that could be turned into an Airbnb. There's a lot more that are off the books. I think a lot more regulation and paying attention to that. That's just one thing that could be done. And again, looking for contractors and builders that are not looking to gentrify, looking for builders that are actually going to build affordable housing. The council recently approved a development that doesn't really fit that criteria on the type of scale that we need. And then they offered them also tax breaks on top of that, which doesn't help out the rest of the community, in helping contribute to the infrastructure needs that particular development is going to cause immediately. So I think that there just needs to be a lot more thought and care into, what really is affordable, and who we are welcoming and paving the way for to come in and put these developments in this community.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to move to Dino Pallotta. So what should the village council do to address housing needs in the village?
Great question. And we're looking at the Windsor projects that is on the table right now. We're taking an area for senior living. There's 2 facets to that. Senior living is going to be something that we need to expand on. If our seniors want to move out of their houses, that will free up stock for us to turn around and sell to people that want to come into the village. But number 2, workforce housing with this Windsor project, it's going to offer us the ability to bring in rentals, bring in apartments, if you will, for lack of better words, to give us more stock. When you meet those needs, again, work here or live here becomes an actuality. Our apartments are minimal. If there's very minimal apartments, so that's something that, again, this Windsor project is looking towards. Again, our affordable housing program that is here is working. There's been some great projects that have come out of it, and you continue that side of it. It's a good mix of continuing that, senior housing, along with workforce housing. You get a good mix and you get a good blend that you're able to facilitate the ability of getting people to come into Yellow Springs, live here, and work here.
Okay, thank you. And now we're going to Brian Housh. What should the village council do to address housing needs in the village, Brian?
Thank you. Excellent question. And over this past decade, we've been actively working on things like our policies around transient guest lodging, what most people call Airbnbs. What I've recently learned is, in fact, we've got less now than we had in the past. So more houses and rentals have gone back on the market, which is great. And I don't want to change those policies. I want to keep them tight. We need to really focus on changes in our zoning to encourage more housing of all types, but particularly multifamily and rentals, and of course, affordable housing, as both Stephanie and Dino referred to, which is hugely important. I'm excited about some of the current projects we have in the pipeline, like Windsor, where we secured 15% of those, what will almost be 150 units, to be affordable. And we've defined affordable based on, the typical definitions around area mean income. So we're talking about 80%, 50%, and 30% of those of the AMI. Um, we also have two properties in particular that are owned by the village that are slated for mixed use housing. So a lot of that will focus on affordable. And we are now at the point where we need to move those projects forward. Um, as I think everyone knows, affordable housing is not easy, but we have a current council and I believe a future council that's really cares about that. And the final thing I'll highlight is that again, by having a slightly larger population, we will be able to have a more affordable community. So, I mean, this is the priority for every community, but Yellow Springs is taking this seriously, and I'm looking forward to a council that's really going to continue to prioritize this.
Thank you very much. Now we have a third question and final question, and we're going to start with Dino Pallotta. And the question is, or could you describe the skills and experience that you will bring to the village council? Dino?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for your time today. As I mentioned in my bio, I've volunteered a lot of my time towards committees and boards of the village. Furthermore, I want to give back. For my 27 years that I've been here, it's time for me to give back. And village council is that opportunity. My involvement with the village government and operating my business for 27 years has given me an advantage of understanding our villagers and how it operates. I firmly believe that having a local business person is going to better serve our council and just well rounded out for the decision-making process, if nothing else, just on the decision-making process. As I mentioned earlier, in short, I bring a leadership ability in the decision-making process, but I'm also a team player first. I mean, that's what it's all about. Working together, I've worked with Brian on countless projects on committees that we've been in. There are certain things that you do well with as a team. We have to achieve our goals, see what the tasks are at hand. And I stand strongly in that belief of my own beliefs, but in the same token, I'm not dug in. I'm willing to compromise. I'm willing to listen, which is most important, that you're willing to listen and understand and be persuaded, because it's not about being right. It's about doing the right thing for the village. And that's where I come from, the point of view that I come from. Let's do what's right. It's not about being right. Let's do what's right for the village for the growth and success of it. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're going to move to Brian Houch. Describe the skills and experience you will bring to the village council.
Thank you. So I mentioned before, I have a law degree and I specialized in environmental and public interest law. That has been incredibly important on council because we're constantly interacting with lawyers and getting various advice. And for anyone that knows anything about the law, there are lots of different ways to interpret it. So it's been nice to have that knowledge so that we can actually ask the right questions and push back to get to where we want to be as a village. My MBA in finance has been incredibly important because, like every municipality, we're very challenged on the financial side. And so it's important that we continue to think creatively about how we keep the lights on, essentially. I also owned a business for 10 years, so I can definitely empathize with our local business owners and how hard it is to keep that shingle out. And thirdly, institutional knowledge. I can't say enough about how important it has been as we move forward and try not to take 2 steps backward, to understand what we've done in the past and how we navigate the future. So beyond that, my company was involved in corporate communications, and I think that, and I heard this resonate in other comments, it's been hugely important to interact and engage with our villagers who are very knowledgeable, give us lots of good input, and we can utilize that to make better decisions.
Thank you. And now finally, Stephanie Pearce, describe the skills and experience you will bring to the Village Council.
Well, to start, I have a lot of administrative experience just in my professional life. I owned a business for 17 years as well. And I am degreed in civil service, and I have a public relations background, and just a persistent motivation in my professional and personal life to serve. And I'm fully invested in this community, so I may not know all of the same ins and outs, but I do know a lot of the ins and outs of being a resident in this community. And as a mother of five, being a mother makes you clever and industrious and quite resourceful. And so a lot of skills from that overlap in life in general and help me be successful in the things that I do now. And so anywhere I have gotten myself into, I find myself in an administrative situation, and I'm a good listener. I'm kind of known in town for being approachable. I give people the time. I attend the village meetings and watch them on video because I want to listen and I want other people to be heard. And I see a lot of that doesn't happen. And so I bring that, I bring big ears to the table as well as my professional experience with it as well. So
Thank you very much. Now, in closing, we would like to provide each candidate with a 1 minute for a closing statement. And we're going to start with Brian Housh. So 1 minute, Brian.
All right. Thanks again. And this has been great. Yeah, I realized that, having a long term on council has its pros and cons, but one of the things that I think is important is that I continue to add value and be relevant. And I really do listen to all residents because our charter indicates that everyone is our constituent, not just select groups. I feel it's very important to think about the council manager form of government balance, because that is ultimately what makes us most successful as an elected official body. And lastly, I just want to ask for our villagers' votes, because I will make sure that we deliver on our village values and continue to sustain and improve our creative community and our quality of life.
Now we're going to move to Stephanie Pearce, a 1 minute closing thing.
Well, as I said earlier, someone who, I live here and I work here and I shop here. I'm raising my kids here. And I'm just eager to listen, to the community and follow through with actionable things that support and promote the views and the needs of all the residents in Yellow Springs, including, all levels of income and business owners and things like that. It's all important. As a tourist town, we can embrace what that entails without dismissing the people who have nurtured and cultivated, this diverse community and what makes Yellow Springs so unique.
Thank you. And then finally, Dino Pallotta.
Thanks, Jack. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this. Again, I'm running for Village Council because I believe in the entire community of Yellow Springs, not just one group or one issue. We need a good relationship, working with council, working with village staff, to have that day-to-day operations, to have that respect with one another, and to have that working capabilities, just in the hierarchy of business. I think that's important important part that we bring to the table here, and that's what I bring to the table here, is that ability to bridge the gap if there are issues, to know that we can work together with staff to get things accomplished. I see that's a balance. It's good essential governance. I'm looking at the collaborative side of it and the big picture of it. That's what I want to bring to the table. I want your vote. I'm looking forward to working for this village. And as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your participation today, each and every one of you. Good luck with your campaigns. The League of Women Voters encourages all candidates to run an issues-oriented campaign. Our goal is to educate the voting public and strengthen our elective political process. The annual Voters Guide will be distributed beginning the first week of October in the Dayton Daily News, the AIM Media suburban papers, and at local libraries, schools, and businesses. You might note that the last date to register for the general election is October 6th, and early voting begins on October 7th, your Board of Elections. Of course, you may also request an absentee ballot. However you decide to vote, your opinion matters and helps us make our democracy work. Thank you.